Yeah, I mean, very big. I think be able to go out there on fourth down and execute and make some big time plays is really the difference in that game right there. So, that's what it comes down to is just going out there, executing, and those got to have it plays. And we made plays tonight, everybody.
What was the conversation between you and Matt to go for it the last time there?
Yeah, I mean, we were staying aggressive. We got a chance to go out there and ice the game, not even give them a chance to get the ball back. And we stayed aggressive, and I love it. We made plays right there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Wicks really struggled with drops last year. To make some of the catches he did today, what does that say about kind of the work he put in this offseason?
Yeah, it's all about the work. I think he obviously was challenged. And, to come in and be able to make these plays that he's making this year is amazing. And he stepped up, and obviously today he had a really big day and 2 touchdown catches. So, I'm happy for him, very proud of him, but it's all the work he's put in. He's kept his head down, kept grinding, and, I think everything is kind of paying off for him.
What'd you see in that last play? And do you consider that a 50-50 ball, or what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's man coverage across the board. We had a route on the outside that we could have thrown, and, I kind of like the matchup on the inside, just running across, and Wicks did a good job just pushing up and breaking him across. And, you throw him up a ball that it's going to be a contested catch. A guy's draped on his back, and he did a great job of just fighting through the contact and making that catch right there. And, that's kind of what this game came down to. We knew coming in this week what type of defense they play and what it's going to take from the receivers, tight ends, everybody. And, he went out there and made that big-time play to ice the game.
The fourth down touchdown to him was a 4th and 2, I think. Was that the call to take the shot, or did you see something at the line that made you think that's where you're going? What happened there?
No, that was a call we had. Something that we got a look earlier that we came back and kind of made an adjustment off that earlier call, and just like I said, another play where it's man coverage and guys got to go win. And Wicks did a good job on the route, and obviously to be able to make that catch with a safety coming at him and getting a hit on him was awesome.
It's 4th and 3, and you can get a first down easily there. What is in your mentality to say, well, throw it down there in the end zone? It's either a touchdown or not.
Yeah, I mean like I said, that's kind of the look we saw. Early on a different play we ran. And we felt like we could take advantage if we did something a little bit different, ran a different route, and that's what we went with. And obviously, like you said, it's 4th down. You got to make a play anywhere, and to be able to make one in the end zone and come away with 7 right there was huge.
How big is this for the team in terms of the division race, season sweep, all of that, now that you've won?
Very big. Obviously we knew what was at stake with this game, and obviously just with every division game we have. And, in the NFC North, it's a tight race. There's a lot of good football teams in our division. So we got to come out here and handle business every time we get those ops. And, obviously we know this 3-game stretch we've had with, the Vikings and now the Lions and then going with the Bears next week. But, it's you got to come in and win these games and, try and control your own destiny by winning out.
I know when you're on the sideline in between drives, I know you're looking at the tablet reviewing stuff. Do you ever just sit on the bench and watch Micah?
Definitely. I try and get there and, look at the tablet. I try and get through the stuff as fast as possible and see what the looks are. And obviously talk about any adjustments we make. But then after that, I'm trying to get up and go watch the defense. Not just Micah, but everybody out there. I'm trying to stay in the game and just see what they're doing and see how the momentum's going. But, he's a problem out there. It's definitely fun to watch him, and just the way he's able to go out there and dominate is awesome.
Jordan, you guys, what's up? Start of the second half, the defense gets the 4th down stop, you go out and hit Christian over the top. Can you just kind of take us through that play call and the execution?
Yeah, another play that we talked about at halftime of a look we saw earlier and something we wanted to try and take advantage of. And I think it starts with, like you said, the stop the defense was able to come up with, and that's where we've talked all season. We got to go out there and play complementary ball, and obviously take advantage of the field position and the big time stop that the defense did, and to go 2 plays and be able to hit a big explosive play for a touchdown was it's everything that we've been hoping for and trying to get. And just a great job by Christian, great job by the O-line, to be able to give me that much time to be able to throw a deep one, and just a big time play. But that's a complementary ball we got to keep trying to stack and keep building upon.
I asked you about consistency on Tuesday and kind of the lack of it. So how'd you get there today? I mean, kind of a slog for like the last couple of months, and today you guys have lost what you can get offensively.
Yeah, it's all about guys going out there and making plays. You know, that's what we always say. To be consistent, you got to go out there and make plays, win your matchups, win your one-on-ones, and everybody did that. You know, O-line did a great job pass protection all day, and guys went out there and made plays. Like I said, we knew what type of game it was going to be, what the type of style of defense they want to play, and, you know, we were able to go out there and make plays. But that's how you become consistent, is just going out there and making play after play, drive in, drive out.
Run game look any better to you the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, you know, I think today was a game where we were going to have to pass it. You know, we're going to have to win a game in the air. Like I said, you know, they're a team that's going to load the box and try and take away that run, and they do a good job at it. And, you know, I think run game, there was some good stuff there, but going against that style of defense, you got to win sometimes with the pass. That's what we did.
Jordan, was the play before to Watson, was that anything similar to what in the Wicks for the completion, or a completely different play?
It was a different play. You know, he was more running a basic across the middle. But, you know, another one of those plays, like I said, where it's a contested catch, guy on your back, and you got to find a way to make it a play. And the DB did a good job, you know, being able to play through his hands and break it up. But, yeah, it was a little bit of a different route.
What's that? Can you describe the feeling of playing that pass to Wicks and you won the game?
It's awesome. You know, it's a great feeling. Obviously, game on the line right there, 4th down. Got to have a play and to be able to throw one up. And for him just to make that catch, you know, it's phenomenal. But it's awesome to be able to, you know, put the game away right there on a gotta have it play is something that, you know, you know in the game there's going to be opportunities and there's going to be moments where you got to make big time plays, and that was a big time play.
You've been watching a lot of these games. I think you had fourth quarter comebacks coming into this. Where's that come from? Is that something that you're born with? Where does that late game success come from?
It's just staying the course. You know in the game that in the NFL, you know, something I feel like I've learned is all these games come down to the last couple plays, you know, last couple minutes in the game. And that's when you got to be at your best to be able to go out there and put these games away. And like I said, it's not just me, it's everybody, you know, going out there, making those plays when it matters most. And, you know, we've had moments where we've gone out there and we haven't made those plays before. And I think from those moments you learn, you grow, you find that confidence to just go out there and keep going, play in, play out, and, you know, find ways to go out there and win. But if you want to win, you got to make those plays and got to go out there and earn the right to win.
Have you ever seen a big man jump on a ball like Rasheed did on that fumble?
Man, that was great by him. But that was, you know, it's one of those plays where the ball comes out and, you know, it happens so fast where, you know, we always talk about as the O-line covering downfield and guys running to the ball because you never know when the ball's going to come out. Things happen, but, you know, for Sheed, you know, I know he's an athlete and probably played maybe running back in the day, but to be able to get on that ball and secure it was, you know, it obviously saved us points right there.
Jordan, did you see anything in that this week that said, you know, I'm going to go forward on 4th downs all the way through, I'm going to match Dan Campbell play his style? Did he make that clear to you during the week, or is it game plan?
No, we've talked. You know, Matt wanted to definitely stay aggressive in this game, and we had conversations all week. Like I said, that you know it's going to come down to the pass game. We got to go win it in the air, and you know I think it's just the confidence he has in everybody on the offense to be able to go out there and make those plays. And you know it's one of those games you got to be aggressive. You got to stay aggressive to go win it because we know. I mean, it's a really good offense on the other side of the ball, and you want to stay away from trying to give them the ball back. But you know I love the mindset to be aggressive right there.
You mentioned 4th down made a difference. How about time to throw? You had time to throw off, and Jared Goff did not.
Yeah, I mean that's I think that's always a difference maker in games. And, you know, that's a big credit to our O-line. You know, battling in there, giving me plenty of time back there to be able to, you know, make those throws and be able to see what the defense is doing. But you know, obviously there's a really good D-line on that side, and you know, it's a big time performance by them, and really the reason why we were able to go out there and do what we did.
Good morning. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there ever a doubt? No, that was a great football game. I mean, to come in here against a really quality opponent, I mean, they got great players, great coaches. I've got so much respect for what they've been able to accomplish the last few years. And it's all, you know, it's going to be a battle every time you come in here. But I was really proud of our players. This was a playoff type atmosphere. And to be able to come in and win on the road is big for us.
When did you decide to go for that last fourth down, and what was that decision like? How did you get there?
Well, I kind of made up my mind prior to that. I told Jordan, hey, we got 2 downs here. We got to get one of the 2. So, you know, and our guys just made a play. It wasn't necessarily, I mean, obviously Wicks is an option on that play. They did a good job of maintaining leverage. We were trying to throw a similar route to what we hit Christian Watson on our earlier 3rd down, and they did a good job of staying outside leverage, and Jordan came back inside. And I just can't say enough great things about Wicks. We've all seen the type of season that it's been for him in regards to battling through. He's been injured quite a bit. It's been in and out of the lineup. But he made critical plays all game. I mean, the touchdown on 4th down, obviously the 4th down conversion there at the end. Just really proud of him and just his, you know, mental toughness to stay with it, because he's a hell of a player. He's a tough guy to cover, and he came up big for us today.
So was the timeout to get a different play, or just give your guys?
No, so what we were trying to do, I don't know if I should say this or not, but we were trying to draw them off sides, but certainly, I mean, I think most teams are pretty well coached in that area in regards to telling their D linemen earmuffs and don't jump. And so, you know, I just figured, like, hey, it's worth a shot, because if they do, you see it every now and again where teams jump off sides, and that's ball game. So we tried that, didn't work, obviously, and it gave us a little bit more time to kind of think about the 4th down play. And I'm just thankful that our guys up front did a hell of a job. I thought Jordan hung in there, threw obviously a good ball, and then Wicks went out and made the play.
How was the voice that was saying, boy, if I don't get this, you know, we could be toast. Yeah, we could.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'd rather go down swinging, similar to how we did in Arizona. And sometimes it can bite you, absolutely, and you just got to deal with the consequences that come along with that. So.
Why'd you end up throwing on that 3rd down then? If you're gonna go for a 4th or 2nd?
Because we knew it was going to be man coverage. They had a loaded box. Same thing. I mean, we could have ran it. Josh, I thought, was running really well. They were in base defense. We were in 11 personnel. I mean, so that limits some of your runs that you have in the game plan, and they got a loaded box. So, you know, we did a double move to Rome, didn't work. Had Christian coming across the middle. I mean, I really have a lot of trust and faith in our wide receivers. I think they're all, like, certainly capable. I think they all played their ass off today. I thought they all played big, made big time plays. Obviously Christian and Rome, you know. So Bo Melton got into the action. Malik when he was called upon. So I think all those guys made plays for us.
Key with the fronts today, Love had time most of the day, and Goff didn't. How key was that?
I think that's key going into every game. I mean, when football's played, I mean, up front. So if you're able to give your guy time, you're going to have a lot more chance at having success. And, you know, Detroit's got a really good offensive line. I think we got a pretty good defensive line. And certainly you felt Micah Parsons today, 2.5 sacks and other pressures. And, yeah, he had a hell of a performance.
With the timeout that negated the false start, were you calling for that? Like, did they get that right? And what did you see that made you want to?
Of course they got it right. What do you think, Pete?
Couldn't tell, and I never
Yeah,
saw a good
I was
result.
calling timeout.
What did you see that made you want to call?
It was a similar situation as the 4th down. You know, a delay, we call it a delay situation, but it's obviously it was a timeout so that we were going to use if they didn't jump off side. So we were going for it there regardless.
So why is Belton moving on that if you're not going to snap the ball?
That's a hell of a question right there. I think I'm going to ask him the same thing.
Did you know what you would get down there on that side, on the left side with the three receivers over there?
Excuse me?
Did you know what you would get in terms of coverage on the down?
I mean, this is an aggressive unit, so you got to plan for man and react to zone.
How big of a shift was that fourth down stop?
Yeah, our defense, I mean, we knew going into the game, Dan's always been aggressive, and we knew it was going to come down to that. And I think really when you look at it, both sides of the ball, the fourth down was the difference in the game.
Really struggled with drops last year. How has he gotten to a point where he can do what he did today?
Yeah, I think it's just his mindset. It's never been for him a lack of talent. He's always had the talent, and I think, I mean, obviously you want to go attack the ball aggressively. I think that can help eliminate a lot of drops, and I know a lot of great receivers that have struggled with drops and then overcame that, and it's not. He's got great hands. He's a natural plucker of the football, and so it's never like a lack of confidence in him. I've never wavered. I can speak for myself and our staff. We've never wavered on his ability. Like, I think he's so talented, and he just got to keep on approaching it the same way, the way that he has. And I think games like this are going to happen for him.
2 years ago, you guys came here and you played a really good game, and your offense, which had struggled, really came to life. Is there any feeling that, like, this is starting to pick up this year again, too? Do you get that? Does this game give you that sense at all?
I mean, I think every game is a new challenge, and I just never want to feel like, okay, here we are, we've got it figured out, because you got to put the work in. And there's a lot of talented defenses in this league, and there's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of smart coaches that are going to scheme up stuff against you. And so we're going to continue to just try to get a little bit better each and every day, the same mindset that we've always had. That's the only way I know how to approach it.
Matt, early in the first half, he had a lot of open targets. I was kind of surprised when some of the missed throws and a few of the drops. Did you sense that, and did you have to maybe change course a little bit in your play calling to get that chemistry going?
Are you done? All right. Sure.
Okay. Early in the first half, you had a lot of open targets there, but some surprising missed throws or a couple of drops. And do you have to sort of change just to try and get the rhythm going there, or how that feel?
Yeah, I mean, every game's going to have ups and downs, and I think you just got to stay you got to stay with it. You got to stay resilient. And I think the best teams are able to do that and overcome their mistakes. There's no game that's ever going to be perfect in any phase. You just got to stay resilient. You got to keep that belief. I think the confidence is critical in every game. So they just, I think we got a tough-minded group that we've had our fair share of adversity, and I do think that if you're able to battle through adversity and you come out the other side of it, you're usually better for it. And so I'm really proud of our guys.
We've asked you 100 questions about your inconsistent offense over the last 6 to 8 weeks. Where did today's performance come from? I mean, look about as good as you guys can play from some perspectives.
I don't know. It's just, I think that's the magic question we're always chasing. I mean, we want to be perfect every time we go out there, but like I said before, teams plan against you. They do a good job, and there's a lot of good players in this league. There's a lot of great coaches, and it's just a lot of it is just how consistent can you be on a daily basis. And certainly we believe that you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're never staying the same. So yeah, I'm proud of our guys, but we got to keep building on this, and we can't think that, like I told Pete, we can't think that we've arrived by any stretch, because as soon as you do that, you get beat. So we got to keep fighting and clawing and trying to get a little bit better.
Times about process over results. Did you see the process coming into this game, that maybe the results weren't what you're looking for, but the process was getting you to where you want to get to?
Well, I still don't think we're where we want to get to, certainly, and I just don't think you can ever be satisfied, and you just got to keep fighting. You got to put the work in. There's no substitute for the work, and thankfully, I'm around a bunch of guys that embrace the challenges and embrace putting in the work. There's no shortcuts in this league, and you just got to keep fighting.
4th and 3, to Wicks for the touchdown.
Don't worry, man, I'll get you.
No, right.
Age before we. I think 4th and 3, was it that Jordan being aggressive, or was that kind of what you thought?
You're saying on the one to Wicks?
Wicks one,
Yeah, I mean, like I told you before, I think we're trying to throw the ball to the Christian in the slot. And I think it was Amik Robertson that had him man-to-man, and he did a good job of staying outside leverage. And so I think Jordan progressed inside, and typically you'd like to read inside out, but I mean, we were both thinking the same thing. Can we win? Can we capture the leverage? And he got off of it and put a ball where Wicks could go get it, and he made the play.
Do you think you personally and this team made any sort of statement against these guys this year? You know, Dan was 6-2 against you guys, but you're 4 for 4 on 4th down against him in this building. You swept them.
Was it 4 for 4 today?
3 for 3, sorry.
Okay. I thought I
you-
misspoke.
You sweep them for the first time since 2020. Was there any sort of statement made that you?
No. I mean, every game's its own game, and, you know, we just came in here with an aggressive mindset, and I think that's one of the ways that you have to play against these guys, knowing that you're going to have to defend 4 downs. So, you know, it's a really good football team. Like, they've won a lot of games, and they've been one of the premier teams in the league for the last few years now. They got a lot of great players. I've got so much respect for Dan and his staff and what they've been able to accomplish. So I thought the only way that, you know, you come into this place, which is not an easy place to play, is you got to be aggressive. Yeah, it doesn't look good, guys. I'm sick for him. I'm sick for us. I mean, that's a critical loss for our football team, for our defense, obviously. And I can't say enough great things about him in terms of just watching him mature, not only as a football player, as a person. I've got a lot of love for Devontae Wyatt, and I think the whole locker room does too. So it's a little bittersweet, I would say, in regards to, yeah, we're happy about the win, but at the same time, we're sick about what happened to him. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. All right, have a good night.